Defensively, you just feel like it's kind of more of the same, where there's some opportunities and just not getting that hit to change.
Yeah, they're good pitching staff. We had, what do we leave, like 12 guys out there. We walked, 7-ish hit by pitch. So we had plenty of opportunity. Just couldn't get that hit that's been eluding us, seemed like, for quite a while. Dylan was as good as you want to see. It's a really tough lineup to go through, and he was outstanding. Richard was good. Just held him off as long as we could. It's tough to hold that lineup down that many innings.
But for Dylan's last 6 appearances, you said 7 or more innings and 3 or less hits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he reaching that point where he's got a chance to be an elite?
No, I've always thought, I think we all felt like that he could. Is why, I don't know, some people thought, I think he kind of, sticks out sometimes of one of those guys that can do that. Just mostly, as much of it's got to do with his mindset and his, just his presentation. That's why you pitch guys like that on opening day. They a lot of people, okay, the club's struggling and you're facing the Red Sox. He wants that challenge. He doesn't back off from it. So he's always had that kind of elite mindset, that you look for in all players, especially guys that you want to be taking the ball every 5th day in a meaningful situation. But regardless of what's going on, he's going to, he's so self-driven. But he's also one of the most, he's a baseball player. It's a pitcher. That's as big a compliment as I can give him.
What's been the issue with Gibbons? Is it just command?
Mike just, he loses it for a little while. He's pitched well last year, and he goes through some periods, but he always gets back on track. He just, like hitters, you can get where you want something too much, and kind of the emotional part of it gets in the way of it. And, he's got great stuff, and we see, you look at his body work when he gets done last season and this season, it'll be good. It just hasn't been last couple times.
Under what circumstances were you going to use Zach?
Only if I didn't want to. I really was trying to stay away from him unless we get the right situation. But we ran out of pitchers. I wasn't going to pitch Darren 2 days in a row, and Castro needed another day, and we had to have some length for tomorrow. So if we'd have played another inning there, he'd have come in. Or if I think that was Mike's last hitter, I wasn't going to let him go to past 30. So he was a hitter, so away from coming in. And in some way, that was good for him to get the juices flowing. I was hoping for a better situation, but the game doesn't always cooperate.
Dylan, in the past when he's had those kind of results, it's been with all 4 pitches. He was mostly fastball today. What does that say about what he was able to do in your mind?
He's got 2 different ones, too. And you see him all of a sudden go get 94, 95 some when he needs it. And he feels there's a need. And especially when you see starting pitchers in today's game going into the 4th time in the order, let alone 3 times, it tells you they've got some other things working. He really got 2 fastballs that he's kind of uses when he goes in. He's a little more 4-seam, and he'll get some outs on a 2-seam, actually a little form of a BP fastball. And then he threw a couple of curveball strikes, not many, you're right, but the slider was there when they were trying to cheat the location with the fastball. But he didn't throw a lot of changeups tonight for a lineup that has 4 or 5 left-hand hitters in it. That was what could tell you either he didn't have a good feel for it or he felt comfortable with the other pitches.
Is Manny starting to feel better at all those seasons?
I think so. That stuff is different. Young people heal a lot quicker than, I think. I'm hoping that he's able to play tomorrow. I was hoping by giving him today. Earlier in the day, he looked pretty rough. But, actually, as the game went on, I was asking him how he was feeling. I have hopes that he'll be a player tomorrow.
Well, with Davis 0 for 5, he's hitting under 150 now. Are you seeing any reasons for optimism for him?
I'll never not think that it can start tomorrow for Chris, because we know what's, that may be. I know how that may look to some people out there, but I'm going to keep that mindset. We're going to keep working, trying to get it going. I know it's frustrating for him and for everybody watching that wants him and us to do better, but he. It's a rough stretch for him, that's for sure.
What's the prognosis for Ariojo?
Who?
For Pedro Ariojo.
Pete came with a sore elbow after his outing yesterday. actually told Ramon he'd kind of been feeling, but to not that extent since back in Tampa. It's the first we'd heard about it, and so, he's going to be down a little while until that cleans up. I know they got a MRI today, so, you find a lot of things that we don't think there's anything structurally wrong, but they see some inflammation there and see. We're hoping it's just, something that will manage itself. And, I don't want to I know what time frame they gave me, but I don't want to throw that out there yet.
Adam looked a little bit
Pardon?
banged up. No, I'm saying Adam looked a little bit banged up at one play in center field after, I think it was in the later innings. But how is he doing right now?
Which play was that?
was
I usually
like,
watch it pretty closely. But, I will say this along those lines. Adam, I talked to him in Toronto, and he said he was feeling great. I wanted to try to get him a day off that turf, and he just said he felt good. And I said, well, I'd like to keep it that way, too. But he also talked to me about the team and the need right now. It's not a good time for him to. But there's nothing there that he's come to me, and he's been very forthright about everything he feels with me this year, unlike sometimes from years past. So, I'll check on that. I didn't see what you're talking about, but you give me some cause for concern, so I'll check on it.
Buck, you guys have had some success in the past against Stephen Wright. I mean, is knuckleballer just kind of a crapshoot? Was he throwing that well, or is
early on? It's tough to tell the way we're swinging the bats. Early on, we hit some balls sharp on the button right at them, and usually that's a good sign for things to come off a knuckleballer. When you get, the weak pop-ups, not much height on them, and top balls, you go, this could be a tough challenge, but it wasn't that way early on, and then it kind of became that way as I think some anxiety sets in for us not scoring runs. So I'll give him some credit, but I also think there's some other things working in his favor that we're providing. Okay, thanks.